Welcome to Las Sisters.
So today we're going to be talking about investments. There's different type of investment that you could do, like new construction, buying existing home, flipping, renting, amongst other things. But in today's episode, we're going to be talking about renting properties, either if you buy a new or if you buy an existing home.
So one of the things that you need to make sure that you are considering when you're buying that investment property is the location. The location of where that house is going to be key, because tenants they don't want to go to the countryside. Some of them, a lot of them, they want to be accessible to all the necessary things like supermarkets, stores, restaurants. They want to have everything easy for them to find. So location is definitely something that you need to consider. Sometimes a house can cost a little bit more, but the location is going to be worth it.
It doesn't really matter a lot if the house is old, if the house is new. It will matter in the type of investment that you want to do, and we will be talking about that shortly. But what really matters is how accessible, like Kenya mentioned, it is. For example, here we are in the city of Knightdale. So we are pretty much like 3 minutes from the shopping center stores, like Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, supermarket, restaurants, right?
We are close to highways, which is so important. When people need to go to work, it's so easy for them just to get into the highway and just head to work.
Yeah, and like the highways are literally like 5 minutes away. You can find 540, which also connects you for 440, connects you to 87, connects you to 64. And that also allows you to be closer to the airport. When you're thinking of investment, think about how far the place is from the airport. A rule of thumb is more stay within an hour to the airport. Here we're like, what? 25, 30 minutes?
We're about 25 minutes from the airport. With no traffic.
With no traffic.
Disclaimer.
Well, now we are in North Carolina. When we first moved here, there was no traffic. Now there's traffic everywhere. So consider that if you're in bigger cities like New York, California, then of course that 20 minutes could turn into 2-3 hours, right? But that is something very important for you to consider. Also, schools. You don't want to be right next to a school, because a lot of people, especially if they're retired, they don't want to be close to a lot of noise, but you want to be accessible. Because think about it. If you're looking for a 4-family home, which we are going to show you shortly, then you're thinking about a family that have children,
yes,
or that have to share space with like in-laws or things like that, and you do not want to have them far away from the schools or the parks or the adventures that kids look for. So think about your investment, not about what you want, but what your tenant might like. So talking about having the tenant in mind, something that you have to think is about maintenance. I like the fact that in this area, there's not a lot of landscaping to maintain. As you can see, there's only little pieces of grass. Think about when there is a lot of grass, there's higher prices for maintenance, like cutting the grass, maintaining the grass, hiring a company. So all of those things tenants do look about. A lot of tenants do not have time to maintain the grass or do not know how to. So you have to consider that when you are buying a house. The advantages that we have here is that we also have like a lot of park areas where big family could gather, and they don't have to maintain it.
And talking about parks, that is another fact that you definitely need to consider for those families that do have kids, the ones that have pets that just want to go for walks, especially springtime, summertime. Also the pool. You having a community pool is definitely a plus. It's a benefit for the tenants because they're going to have it accessible, like we were saying earlier. So having all that in mind is definitely key. Like we had said, you're just adding more to the value of the home that they're moving in.
And I love the fact that we do have a lot of sidewalks in these communities where family could walk. They can also sit on the green area that you can see here. And having those sidewalks is everything, because in North Carolina, you might be surprised in the Triangle area that sidewalks are not very common. There's not very common. Street lights are also not very common. Well, you could choose a new house or an old house. One of the reasons why we chose this house is because of the investment. So in this community, as you can see, we have big homes that are up to $600,000, and we have the small homes which are more like a one-level ranch home style, and those could be anywhere from 380 to 430,000. The reason why we decided to buy this house is because we were able to get it for 370,000. So we were saving like almost $50,000 less than what it actually cost. And that helps us so much because we know that the value is there. So once the community is finished in a few more years, we are going to be able to sell this house for over $500,000-$600,000, which is the goal that we want to. So something that we always look for is places where they have big luxury homes and smaller homes if we are planning to buy a small home, because we want the price, the equity to be high in that property. So therefore we want the price to stay as high as possible so that we could get more equity. It doesn't matter if you're buying a house for you to live in or for you to rent or sell. The point is that at the end of the day, it has to be an investment. So to have that mindset that what are you going to do with it later on once you move out or once you sell it? Can you sell it? And as you can see, this community is so beautiful. It has so much green area all around it. It has so much sidewalk like we mentioned before. So many things of the community that we will be showing you later on. But besides that, it has very open street, which give it the feel that it's a big community. It doesn't feel tight, because imagine once you put the cars on the streets, you want to be able to have space to drive around and not feel like if you're hitting other people, or if everyone is out here, you don't want it to feel crowded. So that's something that buyers are looking for when you're selling. Because remember, you're always thinking about, even though I'm buying this house to rent it, what is going to happen when I decide to sell it? You always have to have an exit strategy, because you never know when you need to sell it. And that's the beauty of owning an investment. So let us show you why we chose this house. First of all, it is a new construction. We don't have a lot of time to maintain it. So if you want something low maintenance that you don't have to maintain, then you definitely want to go with a new construction, especially in a new community, because by the time that the community is done, the price of your house will be maximized. It will be up there. So equity, equity, equity. But let me show you how beautiful this house is. Even though you do have to go down 3 steps, I do like that when you're sitting here, you have to envision your tenant, right? With some chairs, drinking a sip of coffee. So I really love that about this house. It has a porch where you could sit and watch the kids or the family or the neighbors just walk around with their dogs or their kids. It doesn't have a lot of grass. As you can see, it still have grass for the kids to play, but it doesn't have that much grass. We do have properties that have acres or a lot of grass, and then it could become a little bit expensive for the tenants because they have to cut the grass here in North Carolina. If you have a Bermuda grass, you have to cut it every week, every 10 days. Then you have to maintain it as well, and it could be hundreds of dollars a month. So we wanted to have some options for a lot of tenants. But follow me so that you can actually see the inside of the home. So welcome in and come see the inside of this house. So something that it is a must after COVID is having an office space. So before COVID, a lot of people had to go to the office for work, but after COVID, many companies discovered that they can actually have a remote employee or worker. So a lot of people now work from home. It is a must to have an office at the house. So I still have to keep my hat on because we're still on the construction. You can see they're doing the routine before they give us the house, and it is freezing inside the house. But I wanted to show you something super important that you have to have when you are buying a house: a bedroom in the first floor. In this house, we have a master in the first floor, a very ample, big master in the first floor. And it is important to have at least a master or a guest bedroom, something in the first floor, because think about it. What happens when you get hurt and all your rooms are upstairs? We have already lived that experience, and it is very excruciating. But let me show you the master bath. I really like it because it is spacious. Of course, if you're gonna live in it, you might think I want something bigger, better, but think about it. There's always things that you can do to this house if you're gonna move in it first that can make it bigger and better. But think about when you decide to move out, if you're living in it, or think about your tenant. Will it be enough for your tenant? And as you can see, I think it's definitely enough. It has a lot of closets everywhere in the house. There's a linen closet here that you can see, and then it has a huge walk-in closet that I love in this area. So let me show you around. So we have a lot of closet space. In each hallway, there is a closet, which I really like that. Then you have a bath. Normally, if you have a guest bedroom in the first floor, you'll have a full bath. But in this case, because the master is in the first floor, you only have a half bath. And then you have a clean kitchen. Take neutral colors. Think about the investment. Doesn't matter if you're going to live in it. It doesn't matter if you're going to rent it or sell it. You always want neutral colors because not everyone is going to want like a blue or a green or even brown colors. A lot of people are not in agreement with those colors. So you have to always keep that in mind. But let me show you the pantry. We have a huge pantry. That is a big plus because a lot of people want to have a lot of storage for their food, their pots and pans, blenders, electronics, and stuff like that. And you also have the washer and dryer. So it is common to have the washer and dryer where the master is at, which, of course, the one that pays the bill should be more comfortable and not to do laundry. I also like that it is open, it is spacious, you have a dining room here, when you have the living room here. It depends on your lights, but a lot of people, when you are getting like a more simple home, you do want a like open floor space. When you want something more elegant than there, you want like a more private dining room, right? When you have like a gourmet kitchen, then you're looking for that private dining room. So we have more storage here. We have more closets. I really love closets. A lot of people buy houses that don't have enough storage and then they do pay for it, right? And I really like garages. I think that, especially for this price, it is so important to have garages. Here we have a 2-car garage, as you can see, and then as you saw before, you can still park 4 cars outside. And even though we don't have a lot of green area, there's still a screen porch in this area that you can take advantage of. So why not? Look how spacious. You can still fit like a sitting area, an outdoor patio set, and you'll be in the indoors. In the outdoors without the maintenance, which is such a plus.
Let me show you the second floor. I love this space because it has 4 bedrooms. So much natural lighting. Come with me. Let me show you. One of the things that I really like is that it has it's a small loft, but think about it. It's not for you. It's for your tenants. And then here, you can still set up a small office, like Lisa was saying, downstairs. You can put a small couch, a station for kids to do their homework. I don't know, the dog's bed, for God's sake, or something. It's a space that you can still use. It has a nice window that feels a lot bigger. Let me show you the bathroom. The bathroom has a double sink vanity with a really nice large mirror. So anyone can be utilizing the vanity while the other person could be in the shower. In this bathroom, there's also a nice large linen closet. This house definitely has a lot of room, a lot of space. So there's no excuse for your tenants. Let me show you one of the rooms. It's a really nice size bedroom. A lot of the things that you don't see nowadays, it's space. But this property, we chose it because of the space, the other closets that it has. Right here has a really nice walk-in closet. It can be used for a kid. It can be used for another adult. There's enough space in this community, in this house. Then we have the other bedroom. Again, a lot of lighting. You really don't have to spend a lot of money on utilities because the natural lighting that comes in, it's just beautiful. With another walk-in closet, it's not just your standard walk-in closet. This thing right here is where the utility, the HVAC system machine is up there. So it's probably not accessible. A lot of them sometimes do have the space that you can store your Christmas stuff on there. I like the fact that it's in one of the common bedrooms and not in the master bedrooms. We've seen that before. The last bedroom that is on here, there's also a nice space, and it also has a nice walk-in closet. They all have walk-in closets, which is pretty cool. Guys, and don't forget to comment below if you want to know anything about any of the cities here in the Triangle. let us know. We're here to answer all your questions.
Any flipping questions that you might have, any questions about investment. And also, if you would like a private consultations, send us a message and we could definitely schedule something where we can fully understand where you are, what are your future goals, and give you an advice on how to start and everything in between. So do not forget, subscribe, hit the bell, and follow us.